Good afternoon, everyone. It's Saturday, the 7th of April. Once again, my wife is at work. She works in our local cinema, and so she spends a lot of time when I'm not at work. She spends a lot of time at work. It's not always the best. However, it does give me a bit of time to do a bit of modelling when I've a bit of modelling, a bit of painting when I get the chance, and she's not about. A while back, I think Christmas, I was gifted this little beastie. There we get a picture. There it is. It's Flames of War Tobruk set. It's got a bunch of stuff in it. It's got Italian and British tanks and guns. Couple of German 88s, a few Semavente, some Crusaders, 3 Shermans and 3 Grants. So I started building these earlier on today, and I thought, well, why not let everybody join me? See how it goes. I'm just assembling them. Just gonna put them back in the box when I finish with them, and then I know they're done, and just priming as and when I feel up to it. There's no rush for these at all. They're not appearing in my plans for the next 12 months or so that's okay. Anyway, it does come with a mountain of plastic, mountain of screws, some instructions, and what have you. So it's got the, like I said, it's got the I think it was how many? No, it's got two 88s. Looks like I've got more than 2 88s here. Looks like I've got 4, which is impressive. Yeah, I've got 4 88s. I'm not sure whether that's correct, but there you go. It's got some Aventis here, which I believe I have. Oh, reach over for the other end. I've got 8 of those beasties. I seem to remember somebody somewhere had a pig of a job with some Semaventes. I don't think they were these. These look fairly straightforward in 15mm. So I've got those, the Semavente. Again, I'm probably not going to bother with those for a while. I might not even make them up just yet. I had 3 Ickle sweet little Grants and 3 Shermans. Now, bog standard Shermans. I don't know what went wrong, but one of them just didn't seem to want to fit together. This gentleman in the middle left me with a bit of a gap at the back, so I've had to cover that up with the tarpaulin sheet. And then alongside those, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Have I got 7? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yes, I've got 7 Challenger tanks, of which I'm going to do 3 in. Sorry, I said Challenger, Crusaders. Sorry, Crusaders dingbat. Of which I'm going to do 3 as Crusader 3s with the 6-pounder gun, a couple Crusader 2s with the 2-pounder, and 2 Crusader CS, which I've absolutely no idea about, but I shall have to have a look at them, find out what they do. I'll make them up in that configuration, along with all the box sets that you get from Flames of War. Got the Flames of War rules, the Flames of War core rules, so they're just the quick start jobs, and the cost of cards. Now, it might say something about the CS on here. I'll just open them up and have a look. Absolutely no use to me of these. No, never played Flames of War. I'm not sure if I ever will, but we shall see. So, Grant's Crusader. Crusader CS is a 3-inch, so I'm guessing it's good for smoke bombardment. Yeah. No HE on the no high explosive on the 2-pounder. Smoke bombardment. It's more. I think it's more of a howitzer type. I think by the look of it. Yeah, I think they consider it artillery. And then of course the Crusader 3, which got the 6-pounder gun with the machine guns. So a bit of stuff on there. Crusaders, Crusader 2, Crusader 3, Shermans, Shamey Babes. Avanti Force. These are the Semaventes. Oh, some Sherman. These, yeah. M14s. Semavente. Ah, right. Okay. Yeah. So it looks like they've got the same chassis as the Semavente. The self-propelled battery has the same chassis as the M1441. Right. Okay. Right. So that's that out of the way. That's them done. So what I thought. And a bag of dice. Dice are always useful. They'll just go in my collection, and we'll see what happens with them. Always useful to have dice. So I was practicing. I got one of the little Crusaders. Fairly simple. This is the first one, the Crusader with the 2-pounder gun. Nothing too exciting about that. I know nothing about them, but I'm trying to make up. At the moment, I'm doing a 15mm. I think I mentioned it last time. I'm doing a 15mm Desert Army, and so that can be part of that, along with the Grants and the Shermans. So that was that one done. So that pretty much finished. So I can throw the rest of that sprue over there with the rest of it for the bits box, and we'll start again with another one. So what do we know? What do we know that's new? Right then, let's have a look. Where's me? Oh, where have I put my tools gone? Where have all my tools gone now? That's not my knife. Where's my? Oh, clippers are here. Right. So what do I know that's new? What do I know that's new? Right. Okay. Yeah. I think right. General Dame 2 came out recently, and I have to say, having watched the film produced by Two Fat Laddies and David Brown about General Dame 2, I was quite intrigued. Now, I've never been a big one for Napoleonic period, other than the Peninsula. But I would love to do it. I really fancy doing General Dame 2. However, I do not want to be painting that at 28mm. I think I'd go for a smaller scale. And at the moment, I've got a lot of 15mm going on, which is cool. I don't have any problem with painting those. They're not difficult. They are they're not difficult for me to paint. However, so far my 15mm have mainly been Second World War. So Napoleonics is everything. So I thought I'd have a look at other scales. So I sent off and I got these little buggers. These little devils. They're from Bacchus. They're 6mm. They are rather delightful little fellas. I'm not sure how much detail you actually get on these. I think it's a case of just a blob of paint for effect. But I thought I'd try those. I also got in touch with Pendragon and bought some 10mm ones, 10mm figures, which, sorry, come on, fella, there we go. Which I've primed and I've started painting. We'll see how that goes with those. There you go. So this is all about. It's all about finding something that's going to be convenient to paint in large numbers. I've got stuff stacked all over the place. It's all falling apart. I have that many projects. And then I also went onto eBay and bought myself one of these beasties, which I'm sure most of you have seen. They're the Warlord Waterloo figures. The epic figures. I thought I'd never got these as well. I have tried with the ACW, and I didn't get along with them for whatever reason. I'm not sure. I really wasn't maybe in the mood for them. I don't know. But let's have a go at these as well. See how those come out. I intend to do the pack. This one, this sprue. This little pack of the this battalion pack of the 6mm, and this of the 10mm. So far, I'm thinking 10mm, but we shall see. I'll have a look at that at a later date. We'll make a decision once I've got all those painted. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was cutting these, these off the sprue. Yeah, always use a side cutter for cutting off the sprue. Just gently taking them off. Get a little nail file and give them a quick rub over where I've cut them from the sprue, just to take off those last tiny little nubs, because those are the awkward ones that stop things fitting, aren't they? Yeah. Let's just see if I can get this up a bit. It seems to be I think there's an issue with oh, I know. Yeah, it's just come a bit loose. There we go. So where was I? Oh yeah, I was just doing these. Really, I love these Flames of War ones. They're really very simple. You can do them because there's no messing about with tracks. There's no messing about with individual track lengths. That's what's put me off a lot of military modelling over the past. There's been things like, I love tanks, I love military vehicles, but the idea of doing separate track links now. I hated the rubber tracks that you used to get, and the idea of getting individual track links now in the Tamiya's and stuff like that, it's just like, oh my gosh, no, don't fancy that one bit. But there you go. We'll sort it. So, but I love these because they are, for a gaming piece at 15mm, they're ideal. So, splodge of glue. Get the correct. That's the beast. Get the correct tracks in there. Give them a press for a moment. I do use on a lot of stuff the extra thin because it just works so much better. But on the important bits like this, I do like to use a little bit of the contactor, just something a little bit more substantial. And there we go. Okay, so let them rest for a little while I get that. And that's the rear of the lower hull, the chassis. So cut out the deck of the tank. I know very little about what we call the mid-war period tanks. Certainly the stuff that was used in the desert, other than the Shermans and such. Apparently, the Matildas were quite good in the desert. And I went to our local club on Thursday, and had a rather interesting contest with Chris, and we played O Group. And we played a scenario from the 1940 supplement, the Battle of Arras, which meant I had a number of British tanks. I had a Mark 6. I had a Mark 6. I had 4 Matilda 1s. Oh my word, were they rubbish. And a couple of Matilda 2s. Again, absolute rubbish. No, I wouldn't allow to use any high explosive. Oh, couldn't blow the German infantry away. Couldn't do anything. Total waste of time having them. They did nothing. The Germans were were given Panzer IIIs to use. Which kind of, well, it destroyed me. I would possibly have been I could possibly have won the game if I'd have had some decent anti-tank weapons or whatever, but didn't have those, unfortunately. I had a boys anti-tank rifle, which just didn't get a chance to get anywhere near the tanks. My opponent held them off, and then just peppered my area where the anti-tank gun was with mortar fire, and just knocked it out fairly sharpish. So it was a bit unfortunate, but a thoroughly enjoyable game. No, we managed. I think we managed 6 6 turns of the proposed 17. So that just goes to show we were not doing. It was quite slow. We're both really still learning the rules, but I think next time it might be a little faster. I think we'll do a later period where we've got a few more toys to play with. My infantry performed extremely well, assaulting a farmhouse that the Germans had occupied, and just knocking the bejesus out of them. Holding the farmhouse right to the bitter end, which was good. And then, the infantry did particularly well, which I suppose as it turned out, that's how it worked in the war itself. The infantry did particularly well. They just held up by everything else that didn't quite work as well as it should. It mentions that after the Battle of Arras, the BEF had only 2 Matilda 2 tanks left in the whole of France, which kind of snookered them, I think, really. Right, so just a hatch cover. My I tend to do when I'm making sections of tanks. So I tend to do one of them with a commander showing, which for most games you need a commander showing or a separate vehicle to act as commander. But I do like to have a commander showing in one of them, and so that's what I'll do with this one of these chaps, one of the Crusader 3s. So it could be good. Just like I say, just put a little bit of the extra thin on there. Let the capillary action do its wonderful stuff. So I had to choose the gun again, and I can't remember. Oh, I'm doing the 2-pounder, so it's the longer of the two barrels. I think on this side. Yep, longer of the two barrels, because the howitzer type would obviously be a shorter barrel. So, what have we done this week? As I say, I had a game on Thursday at the club. I've been painting some. Like I say, I tried those small scale figures, which was okay. And I've not really done much. I'll tell you what I have done. I've finished all my houses, all my desert houses. I think I'll do a quick preview of those at some point very soon. As soon as I can get a bit of space on the dining room table, if my missus will move all her Lego and things. My missus moves her Lego, I can do that, which would be good. And bless her. She does like her Lego. But the problem is it's so big, it takes up so much space that it gets everywhere, and it's filling the house up slowly but surely. And I'm kind of losing track of it. Now then, there's a funny thing. Here's a thing. Here's a question. I don't know if anybody's ever considered it, but do you, when you're doing things like this, do you magnetize the turrets? Because there's obviously the hole there for either the peg to fit in, or you can fit magnets in. Now, the reason I asked that is because I've just lost the peg for this particular little lad, and I'm just wondering what to do. And I think, well, I'm gonna have to. I think I felt it fall off, and I think it's hit the carpet, never to be seen again. So I think I might have to get some magnets, or I'll just glue it straight. Actually, to be honest, I'll just glue it straight on. There's no point worrying too much about it on this particular one. Nobody worries too much about which way turrets are faced in these little games. It's no big deal. I'll just face him forward. So what else? What else has happened this week? I've been lucky enough. I've been off work this week. Some of you might know, some of you probably won't, but I'm a chef, and I work in a boarding school here in Somerset. And obviously it's now Easter holiday. Now as a school, we tend to be open all the year round, other than at Christmas. And so we have sports clubs and such like. during the year. So normally I work over the 52 weeks in the year, but this year I made a change. I've gone to what we call that's right, yeah, what we call term time only. So I now work during the term time, but have school holidays off, other than a few weeks over the summer when we're particularly busy. So, and also Easter. So this Easter, I'm not working this week. Back to work next week and probably the week after, and we shall see where that goes. Hopefully the week after as well. I do need to get quite a few days in over the next 2 weeks. So I've had quite a lot of time on my own at home, which has been great. When my wife's been off, it's been wonderful. We had what did we do on Wednesday? What did we do on Wednesday? Where did we? Oh, we went to the American Museum in Bath, or Bath, however you want to call it, and very interesting it is too. So if you're ever in the area, if you're ever in Bath with some time to spare, it's well worth a trip to have a look, because it was fascinating. Some beautiful American works of art. A lot of natives, not a lot of native stuff. A lot of Native American art, lots of quilting and such like. Created by two Americans that spent their lives in Britain, but they were collecting items from all over America for a long time. They also started collecting old buildings, and one of the things was McConkey's Tavern. And basically, it was a 16th century tavern, 16th, 17th century tavern that was going to be pulled down and destroyed. And these pair of gentlemen, they saved it, saved the interiors, and moved them to Britain and rebuilt them in the museum itself. Amazing, really. It's nice to know that there was somebody in America who managed to save a little bit of their heritage before it was all concreted over. Thankfully, there are people in Britain doing the same, which is always good. Just looking at these what you call it, Crusaders. They're very, very small in height. I mean, there's a little figure there. I mean, that's a German grenadier. Oh, they were probably really good in the desert in that respect, if that's the case, because such a low profile compared with certainly with the Sherman. Good Lord! I mean, the Sherman's probably good 3, 4 feet taller, but they certainly. Oh Lordy. Let's get the hefty glow. So they must have been. They were quite a low profile vehicle. So they must have. They were probably quite useful in the desert. I don't know. I will have to do some work on those and look them up. See how they worked. See what happens. That's number 2. Wonderful stuff. So that's the 2 of the Crusader 2s that I've made. So let's move the scroll. The next job will be the Crusader CS, which is the one with the 3-inch howitzer. Very, very similar to the Crusader 2. Not a lot of difference in the look of them at all, other than the gun. Yeah, other than the gun, there's nothing different. So we'll have a look at. We'll go for that and see what we can find, what we can do. So on with the cutting out the hull first. Yeah. Oh, went to the cinema on Friday evening with my wife. Went to see the new Ghostbusters movie. Got fun. Nothing earth-shattering, and it wasn't particularly taxing on the brain. It was just a nice evening out. We don't often get a chance to get out on an evening, my wife and I, because the work I do and the work she does. But we do all right. And then, like I say, we went out, we had a nice evening out, watched the film, came home, sat down, cup of coffee, cup of tea, things like that. And that's about it. That's the lifestyles of the rich and famous has got nothing on us. So now I think there's probably one or two of you might know. I was and still are to a degree a reenactor, and I used to do. I've done Second World War in the early to mid 80s with the Battle Reenactment Association as was. I've done Napoleonic Cavalry with the 15th Hussars, which was amazing, incredibly expensive, but still amazing. And for the past, I think, when did I start again? 2012 or 2013? Yeah, 2013. I've been doing First World War reenactment with various cavalry units, Lancashire Hussars and Yeomen, and also with the West Country Tommies. So, kind of First World War cavalry uniform, equipment, etc., etc. Always good fun. I really enjoyed it. Was a means of using my second love, which was horse riding. Why do they say horse riding? Everybody knows it's when somebody says riding, it's horse riding. But COVID really, really, really interfered with that. It killed it for me, unfortunately. I put on quite a lot of weight. My uniforms wouldn't fit. Things like that. So I now semi-retired reenactor. I now portray excuse me, sorry, just concentrating. I now portray a recruiting sergeant for our local Yeomanry regiment, just prior to World War One, so between 1910 and 1914. So that allows me to attend First World War events as well, still with the other groups. And so I've got, but at the moment it's very quiet. For me personally, it's difficult to get time off work when events are happening, unless it happens in the school holidays. Can't win everything, I suppose, but there you go. Anyway, so I still do that, and we've got one coming up in August that I'm looking forward to, called the White Horse Military Events. That's in Wiltshire. and I'm looking forward to doing that because there's an awful lot of people going that I know, people from groups that I'm part of that I like meeting, friends of mine. So it's going to be a nice afternoon, nice weekend away, camping out in my bell tent, which is always a pleasure, never a chore, except unless it was like this weekend when an event that friends were at was called off because of the storm. Tents were blown down, ripped, damaged, so they got called off on the last day, which is a real shame, but it's not what you can do. It was a safety thing. So they decided to curtail the event. So yeah, that's what I've got coming up over the next thing. September. Not the song, but the month. I've got Clotted Lard down in Exeter. I've got, which I'm going to be running a game. A game of, I think I told you about it last time, the Sands of the Sahara game, the excuse me, the sharp practice, French Foreign Legion versus the my apologies, I do have a throat problem that catches me out sometimes. The French Foreign Legion versus the Berber tribesmen, circa 1900. Oh, cup of cold coffee. Oh, not nice. So I've got that. I'm running that at Clotted Lard, and I am looking forward to that so much. Got that coming up. I then have CrackCon in October, and excuse me, I'm dying. I recently got in contact with some people running a lardy day just on the outskirts of Bristol, a barn full of lard, which is looking like a good one. Again, I think I'll go there as a participant rather than running a game just yet, until I get to know what the lie of the land is with that. Probably see a lot of familiar faces from other lardy days and such. Oh, excuse me. So, yeah, sorry about this. I'll keep moving, so you know I'm alive, even if I can't talk. So that's that. That's the whole done. There's damn it. I think I'll start on the turret. There's a lot of little extra bits in these figures. In the on the Shermans and the Grants, there's a lot of extra pieces to add on. There's one or two extra pieces, like a extra tank, extra track pieces and things like that. So the sprues are always worth keeping. Just to, the various sprue bits are always worth keeping, just to add to your bits box, really. So if you need any extra jerry cans or track pieces, wheels, things like that, we've always got some. It helps when you start customizing your vehicles. They make it all that much nicer. Especially, it seems to be that the Shermans always seem to have a huge amount of stowage. Maybe it's just Americans, can't do without their bits and pieces. Bless them. So the American Shermans always seem to have lots of stowage on them. Yeah. So I had after I'd finished with the Napoleonic period, I dabbled once again in Second World War. This was, I think probably 2000, between 2006 and 2012, and I was portraying a British major of the. Oh, that's terrible, Tim. Didn't fit that very well. British major of the 15th, 19th Hussars. So I wanted to carry on the connection that I had, obviously, the Napoleonic period with the 15th Hussars. And I wanted to carry on the connection between the two. So I got battle dress and bits of webbing and things like that. But that kind of fell by the wayside after I'd been contacted about doing the First World War again. I always try, where possible, when I'm doing a portrayal, a living history portrayal, is to have a backstory that's believable. So nobody would believe me if I said I was a 60-year-old fat paratrooper. Nobody would believe it. Although some people seem to expect you to, seem to think that you can get away with it. I don't. So I have a backstory, and my backstory for the moment, for my First World War, is that I'm a local yeoman farmer, with businesses in the local area. Fought with the North Somerset Yeomanry in the Boer War, and that's why I normally wear on my uniform. I wear the Kings and Queens South Africa medal. And I explained that I wouldn't have seen service in the First World War itself on the Western Front because I would have been too old and too unfit. But I was still retained by the regiment as a instructor here in Britain, training new recruits in the various dark arts of warfare. So I've always liked to have that sort of backstory. Again, when I was doing Second World War, was a very very old major. In that I was promoted through the ranks. I'd been a ranker in the First World War, promoted through the ranks, stayed with the regiment on a permanent basis, and become adjutant or quartermaster, as a lot of cavalry regiments did. They used promoted men for those jobs. The jobs that ordinary officers never really fancied doing. And so that was my backstory for that. Always worth having a backstory. Oh no. Hello, Coco. You all right, matey? September. Well, that one's down in Exeter at Clotted Light. You can happily come along. When the tickets come out, I'll let you know, and I'll get you a ticket. And we'll if you can make it down here, then yeah, I'll bring you down. No problem. Saturday. I'll just grab my phone. Things falling everywhere. I'll just have a look at the date. Here we go. Oh, come on. Go away. Thank you. Right. Calendar. May, June, July, September. Clotted Lard. I haven't got it written down, but it's round about the 16th. It's a Saturday round about the 16th, so it'll probably be the 14th or the 21st. I'm not sure yet. But I'll let you know about that. No problem. I'll be in touch. What? Oh. So, yeah. As you see, Aaron, I'm just doing all that to Brooke stuff that I got. God, there was mountains of it. Mountains of plastic. Loving it. Just needed I just fancied a building day rather than a painting day. I think it's all that. I think what's happened is I've seen that much of the new tank game from Warlord, the Achtung Panzer. But I'm feeling kind of like I'm missing out on tanks and things. Not that I fancy. I don't know. I think maybe a few of you have seen it. I don't know. But I'm not a fan. Too many bits of card. And too many fiddly bits before any action happens. Now, I watched a game of Water Tanker, the Lardy version of Tank Battles, and that was a lot better. I enjoyed that a lot more. I do have the rules, although I haven't played them. But the good thing about that is at 15mm, I can actually play that on our dining room table. So if you fancy a game, Aaron, when you're next over, if your missus has got something to do, and you can doss down at ours. We'll have a couple of games of Water Tanker or something like that. Something that's not going to take a long time. I don't think you'll be able to hear it on this microphone, but our cat, Marley, our rescue cat, he's behind me. He doesn't like being far away from me, so he's behind me. He doesn't like being far away from either of us, and he's snoring away in the background on the laying on a bag of old Western Front Association magazines. Can't be very comfortable, what with all the mud and the blood and the snot, but he's fast asleep, curled up like a little cinnamon bun. Seems that there are a number of gamers and YouTubers on here with cats. He's a completely black cat, a bit like Tiny, Alex Stormer Steele's Moggy. But bless him, he doesn't jump on the tables or anything. He's an old lad. He just likes to walk around and eat. He's a bit like me. Don't like doing too much. It's very relaxed and chilled. So, but yeah. So he's said in a way I don't think you'll be able to hear him, which is a shame because he's quite cute and he's snoring. Anyway. So let's get that on there. Oh, this is so easy. These little Flames of War ones are so easy. I got a couple of Zvezda ones. Zvezda 15mm, the 1/100th tanks. Incredibly expensive for one tank. It's like £5 for a tank. And they're not that exciting compared to some of the 3D print ones that you pay a similar price for, but they don't have to assemble them, and they're much nicer and more detailed. I think I bought a couple of Matilda. I think I got a Matilda 1 and made it up and thought, oh, that's all right. I wasn't very impressed. But I got some 3D printed ones. I can't remember the life of me where I got them. That's something I really should take note of. Is make a note of where I get figures and such like from, because then I can tell people when they ask. I got these 3D printed ones, which were so much nicer. So much nicer. There we go. And that little bit heavier as well, because obviously the plastic was a heavier type, but the resin or whatever was heavier. And so they were quite good. And they painted up beautifully. I'm very happy with them. I got a few compliments the other night about them, which I thought was good. Excuse me. Oh Lord. Anyway, I think what I'll probably do is I'll do this last one, and I think that's enough for anybody watching me faff about with bits of plastic and whittering away to myself. I shall probably finish them and go and get myself a cup of coffee and I'll sit down and maybe watch a bit of YouTube or something, and then come back and do some more in a bit, I think, because I'm enjoying this. I'm enjoying this a lot. Just batting these things together. They're is that the right one? No. Is that the right one? No, it's not. Dingbat. Oh, I worry sometimes. Actually, I know what it is. It's because I've not got my right glasses on. I've not got my proper glasses on. I've got my seeing glasses as opposed to my seeing things up close glasses. I bought some what are they? Varifocals. Last time I got some glasses. Total waste of time for me. I'm finding it's just not. I just can't get into the habit of looking down every time. I want to see something. Instead of looking down your nose at people. So anyway, so let's got that done. Nearly there with this one. They're very, like I say, they're very quick to put together. Nothing exciting about them. I would be tempted, if I was doing 28mm armour, I would be tempted to use the Rubicon models. Because I have built a Rubicon model. I thoroughly enjoyed putting that together. It wasn't the Huey that Steve from the Plastic Crack had such an enormous problem with. And I know Dom's not a massive fan of modelling. I think it was his fault that I started doing this, because I was watching his second What a Tanker video, and he was talking about, making models and stuff. I thought, no, I haven't made any for ages. Let's put some together. Like I said, they're just going to sit in a box, and then one day I'll prime them, and then another probably be next year. I think what I'll probably do is I will finish off my Foreign Legion and my Romans, and then get back to Chain of Command, O Group, and get those sorted out, because I've got a massive backlog of those at the moment, and I need to get those put away and dealt with. I've got some of the fellas up here. I think these are my little French Foreign Legion ones for the desert. I bought a massive flight case full of British desert tropical uniform soldiers. Must have been about 200 or so, and I have divided them up into various armies for Chain of Command, and I think I'm going to use a lot of use them for mainly Chain of Command, which will be some Indians, probably Sikhs. I'm going to do some French. I'm doing the French Foreign Legion from El Alamein, from Bihahim. I'm also going to do some for the Far East. I've got some Australian bush hats heads. I do like to head swap even my 15mm figures. I like to head swap them. It's not difficult at all. It's just a little bit fiddly, but not too difficult at all. And I've done that quite a lot with all my 15mm. Just changed heads. It's easy. It just makes it. It's the identifying thing. I mean, everybody knows that you see a white kepi, it's French Foreign Legion. You see a turban, it's a Sikh, or it's an Indian, or it's well, yeah, it's an Indian. You see a turban, you see a bush hat, it's Aussie, even though a lot of people wear bush hats. They became popular in South Africa in the Boer War. It was a very practical piece of headwear in the African sun. So of course everybody took to it, and eventually it became ubiquitous with the armies in South Africa, whatever nationality they were. And when they came back to England after the war, a lot of the yeomanry troops Roman regiments kept the slouch hat as the headwear for service dress. Most of them kept that round probably till about 1905, and then a more British-looking cap came in. Certainly, with the North Somersets, it was a service dress cap in khaki, and they kept that right the way through then until the introduction of the steel helmet in 1916. The dress uniform had a blue, very, very dark blue service dress cap with a white band around it. That was used with the blue, I suppose, dress uniform. I don't know if they considered it dress uniform or not, but it was certainly to be used with that, the number one uniform. So the full dress, or the ceremonial dress, was still the dragoon uniform with the red tunic and the Albert helmet. The same sort of thing you see, very similar to the household cavalry regiments today. That similar helmet, same helmet, the Albert helmet. And God, we've whittled on about all sorts today. Come from going to the cinema and watching Ghostbusters to the Albert helmet. I think I shall have to start calling it Saturday Witters in the future. Not Saturday Twitters or anything like that. Well, Saturday X, wouldn't it? And that sounds a bit dodgy. Sounds like some sort of dodgy site. So, pop him on there. Cool. Pop that plastic cap on there on the glue. Right. Okay, though, guys. I'll see you later. If anybody actually watches this in the future, drop us a line if there's anything you want any questions answered. But I'll see you later. Have a good one.